Well, what's going on, fellow zombies? Apparently, today has been a crazy day for me this morning. I got my medical insurance trying to take care of my health every which way, shape, or form. I'd be appreciative if I wasn't feeling like I was going insane at this point. Right now, it's almost 15 before noon. It's still April 1st, 2026, and no doubt I've missed a lot of chatter from the media pundits talking about what the hell happened in court today. And they've been giving it out a lot of stuff and Trump shit and everything else going to happen at this point for April 1st, 2026. And I'm still managing. That's the only thing I can say is I'm still managing what's going on. Even with a dog in my hand and she's going to be fussing. I got to get her off my hands. Ma. Hey, dear. Want to go on the ground? Not really. Okay. Hang around me. Hang around me. Trying to get services set up for myself through medical insurance. See what I'm going to be needing, what I'm not going to be needing at this point. Keeping my sanity and my physical body working. The only thing I hadn't done yet is the bloodletting. Sharp instruments. Supposed to get my blood tested, and I haven't done that yet. Now, I hate sharps, but I have to take care of that to take care of myself, don't I? Yeah, I know, Mama. I know. The ear and the head and everything else driving me crazy. She was quiet and still, and put her on the ground. She's like, "How dare you?" I was going to be making some rude, crude, and socially unacceptable remarks concerning about the old gas bag freaking out in the Supreme Court. First time in American history, including the history of the Supreme Court, they actually had a sitting president coming in to make a political influence by sitting there and watching the procedures regarding a matter that deals with birthright citizenship. And this guy hates birthers. He hates, period. And this was one he was trying to make an influence, in my opinion and in my observation, as I was hearing what was going on, is Trump wanted to make sure that he told the Supreme Court that he wants it his way regarding the birther. And they just backstabbed his ass again, and he really hates the court system. He appointed officials. There she goes, trying to spell this again. He appointed officials when there was opens between, 2016 and now. So in this 2 times of being in office, he was trying to influence the court into his way of thinking. And it hasn't been. And they were really having an issue over this. Arguments have been heard concerning about limited or changing a birthright, changing the 14th Amendment. Guys, the 14th Amendment is crucial to citizens and soon will be citizens, either by birth or by naturalization. Let me read you what it says concerning about the 14th Amendment of what is in what is in there. Right now, I'm just waiting for. Oh, great! How about that one? Most of Trump's cabinet's been donating money to support Trump. They're talking about that one right now. Trump wants absolute loyalty, he wants money, he wants. He's an out of control adolescent. He wants so much, he's demanding from the world and demanding it from everybody else. And yet when somebody challenges him, he backs off. We've got cabinet members making donations to the super PACs that Trump has, or Trump aligned. I'm seeing the reports coming on MS now regarding that. I'm not hearing a damn thing about it. But right now, I am more focused on trying to get to constitution.congress.gov to read about the 14th Amendment. If I can get there. I got articles left and right, but what I want is the 14th Amendment. Okay, here we go. There's about, whoa, a lot of sections on this one here. Now, concerning about birthright citizenship, it's going to have to be by Congress to make those kind of decisions. And because we have Congress split in more ways than one, they're not going to get a damn thing done right now as it is. Let me read you Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Now, here's the thing. They kept talking about residing and domiciles. The Attorney General representing Trump kept talking more about domiciles, than anything else. Domiciles. Every time I kept hearing about this guy talking about the domicile, I kept asking myself, what the hell is this guy's major malfunction in the first place? I don't know. Bless you too. Just sneeze all over me. Why don't you, dog? Anyway. Meaning that if you were parents expecting a child, and you're already gotten into the state of whatever you're gotten into, and you're coming from another country, but your child is born here. Let's say you're born in California. Couldn't say that you're a native of California, except you've probably been a native because you got born in the state of California. I was born in the state of California. I'm a native of California. I'm not a Native American, but I'm born in California. The thing is with Trump, he doesn't like foreign-born who are different than him, which is white and racial. He won't say it. Well, actually, he will say it in a way or two. That he's the racist. Further in Section 1 of the 14th Amendment, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within the jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. And they go further and further on this one here. But you have to understand that you're born a citizen, and this is what they're arguing about. There had been other people born from other countries who have gone here, either naturalized or not naturalized, and had kids. Kids who are born on the U.S. soil are what we considered automatically United States citizens. But it's the Supreme Court right now is making a determination because Trump had to push this one through. So the lower courts are appealing it left and right until it got to the point where now the Supreme Court has to make the decision what is and what is not birthright citizenship, and who's going to be covered by this damn thing. If I was born from a foreign-born parents, I would be having an issue with this one because then I would have to ask myself whether or not am I born a citizen in the United States of America, or am I not allowed to be such a person? And they keep bringing back these old things about 17 and 1800s or European. I'm like, the Constitution was written as is, and we're still arguing over the damn thing. But Trump wants it reevaluated. What's considered a citizen? What's considered a natural-born citizen? Who's got birthright citizenship? Who's allowed to have it? Now, normally Congress is supposed to be coming up with the laws and rules on shit like this for clarification, but they hadn't. Not for a long while, and if they had, It was always knocked out. But now, Trump's pushing the idea. He wants his ideology. He and the people who think like him want this control of who's allowed and who's allowed to be a citizen and who's not. It's bad enough when we have voter registration from different states being threatened by Trump because he wants absolute control. He wants the party to be in absolute control. He wants control, period. And he's also trying to find a way to stay in power. Directly and indirectly. And it's scaring the hell out of a hell of a lot of people right now because we don't know what the hell to think. We don't even know what the hell to do at this point. Do you know what the hell to do? I don't. We protested, we keep protesting, and we still have protesters outside. I think we had about 100 people outside SCOTUS when they were talking about when they were going through the hearings. We had the Attorney General representing Trump versus the ACLU making their arguments. It'll give them a while, but they'll put the arguments on their website. You need to listen, guys. You need to listen. The one thing that Trump put on his social media, on his Truth Central, we are the only country stupid enough to have birthright citizenship. He opened up a can of whip ass on that one. That I think that even Fox News will have an issue over this asshole. Because a lot of the independents and some of the corporates are having a major challenge on this asshole on this one. I got a problem with this one, guys. Trump's been trying to do the birther issue even before the 2016 election, when Obama was trying to get in office. He never did like blacks, and neither did his father or his grandfather. They're all racial assholes. But here's the thing: he was trying to promote himself to be a Christian. The Christians who keep saying that they support Christ and yet do the things on the opposite end are all hypocrites. This is Holy Week. We're not dealing with hypocrisy, guys. We're not going to be dealing with hypocrisy. I will path forward on DHS funding. Son of a bitch. What do we got?
It's now congressional reporter Michael Schnell. How did they figure this out? They're essentially going with the Senate bill that was passed unanimously on Friday night. Essentially, the way that this cascaded, and it moved pretty quickly, a few hours ago, President Trump was on Truth Social, and he said, I want to see Republicans pass a reconciliation bill to fund ICE and Border Patrol by June 1st, putting a firm deadline on it, upping the pressure on Republican lawmakers. Shortly after that, just a few minutes ago, we got this statement from Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune saying, we are going to heed the president's request, and we are going to do this on a two-track basis. Essentially, what that would mean is through the appropriations process, we assume we're going to now see the House take up that Senate bill to fund all of DHS through the end of the fiscal year, except for ICE and Border Patrol. And Republicans, they said, are they going to try to fund ICE and Border Patrol for the next 3 years through reconciliation? Remember, this is the party line system that's used to bypass Democratic
opposition. So they're going to separate it out. They're going to say we're going to fund DHS, which includes Coast Guard and TSA employees and FEMA. We're going to do that ourselves. And then we're also going to try to do DHS and CBP, but we're going to do that separately. Do they think that doing them together would not have worked?
Well, this is essentially what Democrats said they wouldn't get on board with.
Yeah,
right?
So are Democrats going to get on board with the first funding of DHS, and then I'm confused.
It's still developing right now, but Democrats should be getting on board with this idea to fund all of DHS except for ICE and except for Border Patrol. On Friday, remember this was the bill that unanimously passed the Senate. All 100 senators were on board with it, and this is what House Democrats said that they would support if it were to come to the floor, but Speaker Johnson wouldn't put it on the floor. One more note, though, I'll leave you with this plan to now pass a reconciliation package for ICE and CBP. That's a really big lift, and we've also heard from Republicans that they they may want to include Iran war funding in that. The Pentagon is saying it could be around $200
How do you do that with
billion.
reconciliation?
It's a format that they want to use because it could bypass Democratic opposition, but we're already hearing from fiscal hawks who say they're going to want offsets, they want cuts elsewhere in the government. Remember, that's what led us to Medicaid cuts. So the short term, the DHS shutdown could finally be coming to an end, the longest shutdown in history. Long term, though, a lot of cans of worms.
Politically risky to fund a war by cutting Medicaid, cutting entitlements. All right, Michael Schnell. Could go on for quite a while, but I'm out of time. Thank you so much for joining us as always. Sit tight next to our Katie Show Reports. Starts after a